Okay, so in this video, we are doing a full review of the Robo Kala 2-in-1 laptop. Is this finally the best Surface Pro alternative? Let's go ahead and talk about it. First things first, tech companies have come to understand that people want flexibility. And for that reason, we've seen a rise in machines like this one, which, like I mentioned, this particular one is the Robo Kala 2-in-1 laptop built to not only satisfy your needs for 2-in-1 laptop, but also to do so at an affordable price while being a thinner version of the Surface Pro. So, to students or business people who are constantly on the go, on plane or train rides, or if you are simply looking for something very portable to use, anywhere you are, this is definitely something to consider. And that also applies if you don't want to buy a Surface Pro, but you're looking to buy something that is a Surface Pro style laptop. Because as you can see, this is the direct competitor to the Surface Pro. Now, that said, this video is sponsored by Robo Kala, but be aware that everything I share with you today is my own thoughts and opinions after testing and using these machines over the past few weeks. But anyway, I rarely start off with specs in my reviews, but I think it's worth highlighting from the get-go that this machine is powered by a Qualcomm chipset, a Snapdragon 8CX Gen 3 ARM-based processor, and that is paired with 16 gigs of RAM. Now, for internal storage, we are looking at an upgradable 512 gig SSD along with two USB Type-C port that actually do support video signals. So you can actually push out video signal through the USB Type-C that you have here, and you do have two of them. It's boasting a 12.6 inches AMOLED touch display with an aspect ratio of 16:10. Now, the resolution here is 2560 by 1600, along with 600 nits of brightness. Now, in my experience, it's shown to be pretty bright indoors and also outdoors. So even under direct sunlight, it actually is very comfortable using. So you don't really have to be squinting while using the display. It looks good even outside. Now, after this quick rundown, why don't we go ahead and talk hardware? At first glance, it's not a mystery which machine this one is going against, right? I've already said it. It's a direct competitor to the Microsoft Surface Pro. And as I mentioned earlier, it's lighter at 690 grams. And it's again worth mentioning that it is thinner than the Surface Pro. It's pushing a pretty sleek look here. And on the front, we have a 5 megapixel selfie camera. While it's not meant to be, a top-notch camera like what you have on your phone, I do find it to be pretty decent for video calls, right? As long as your setting is well lit, like here, you should be fine. It also features Windows Hello Face Unlock. The main camera will be on the back of the device here, and it's a 13 megapixel camera loaded with autofocus, and it can shoot 4K videos. This is an aluminum build in pine green here, as you can see, with that pretty smooth finish on the back here. And still sticking to the back, you'll find a kickstand that props up the slate here. And by the way, this is also where you can access your SSD. That way you are able to expand that internal storage. And it's just great to see that Robo Kala made it easy for you to be able to access the SSD and, expand that if you need to. Now, there is a magnetic pad here for the pencil. You have the magnetic latch to attach and hold the supported stylus, which is an active one because, you can also charge it at the same time. We have, of course, a power button, the volume rockers, as always, along with the mics around the slate. Still sticking to the sides here, we find two USB Type-C port, like I mentioned earlier. We have a dual speaker setup, and these actually match the same setup that we found on the Surface Pro. We also have pogo pins here to attach the device to the native keyboard that, if you want to go ahead, you can buy. Now, I keep calling this an affordable alternative, to the Surface Pro, simply because, a Surface Pro that has specs matching those of this Robo Kala 2-in-1 laptop with half the SSD storage, I mean, we're talking you'll be shedding upward to $1,400 to get your hands on something like that. Whereas you can grab this, the entire bundle of a Robo Kala that include, the device itself, a matching keyboard, the, native pencils, leather sleeve, and even a screen protector like the one that I have here, and still barely come close to what you spend on just the Surface Pro, just the device without all of the accessories. Now, this is the bundle that I started off with. We could do a quick unboxing here. It's pretty straightforward. Started off with the laptop itself. So after you open the box here, you will find a unit at the top. Now, we'll come back to that after we take a look at what else comes in the box. So we do have the USB Type-C cable for charging and, data transfer. We also do have a quick setup, or the manuals, right? There is a wall adapter for charging. That is always nice to have. And as we look at the device here, I've already gone over the device itself, right? So again, you see that it's that very clean pine green the color there, or the variant, right, with that smooth back, like I mentioned, and this is an aluminum build. Now we could go ahead and switch back to the accessories, and the very first one that we have here is going to be the keyboard, and it's considered to be the book cover of the device. And right on the back here, what you have here is some leathery feel here. I'm assuming leather here, very nice. It feels nice to the hand. The keyboard itself is also pretty well built. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that. The keys feel nice to the hands with a pretty nice distance to travel when typing and when you're using it. You have a nice keypad here, and I've always had issues would pass because they were small, but this one is actually larger than, you know, the typical one you would get on an accessory. So it's pretty responsive. It's actually highly responsive, and you get all of the fun and different gestures. And I've had a pretty comfortable, you know, experience typing and using this without any issues. Now, one cool thing I want to mention here is that you can actually use the keyboard while it's directly connected through the pogo pins. But then if you unhook the keyboard, you can still use it through Bluetooth. I think it's pretty cool and pretty practical, right? So if you don't want this to be too close to the display, you could just pull that back and be able to type and still be able to see on the display. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is going to be the stylus, right? So this one is made by Robo Kala, obviously made for this one. It looks awfully close to that of the Apple, right? It actually looks like the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. As you can see here, I have both and I'm comparing. And it works pretty well. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, it's an active pencil, so you have to attach it there to charge it. It has 4,096 points of pressure sensitivity, and it's shown that during usage, right? It's pretty accurate. It feels pretty nice, you know, to the hands. It feels pretty natural to the hands. Now, the one thing that I think it can use would be, you know, an even shorter latency. But other than that, you know, it's fine. I'm only saying it because there is a tiny drag, but, you know, nothing concerning. You have that same drag on the Surface Pro. The note-taking experience here has been good so far, so no complaints. Now, the next accessory here is going to be this leather case here, or the folio case. It feels pretty well built, right? It's smooth to the hand. It can actually hold, you know, all 3 states of the device, meaning the device alone without any issues, the device plus the book cover, no problem, and the device plus the book cover plus the stylus, all of that attached, you still won't have any issues. Now, looping back to my personal experience here, it's actually been pretty good. Performance actually has been pretty good, and you know, like the title says, that it is a 2-in-1 laptop, so it's a nice and a powerful device, especially if you are on the go. I've been able to use it as a laptop, you know, and pretty much complete a variety of large tasks without any issues. Multitasking here is essentially as if I was multitasking on the laptop. No problem there, no lags, no crashes, none of that stuff. It's essentially running, you know, a powerful processor, that, you know, the similar processor that the Surface Pro is running, with just some slight changes, right? GPU specs are essentially the same between the two. So when it comes down to actual results, or, you know, Geekbench scores, they are very, very similar, right? They are pretty much in the same ballpark. Very nice performance, especially while being silent. You know, the thing, you know, it doesn't have any fans, so it is pretty silent while performing pretty well. Battery has been good also. And to those of you considering the Surface Pro, you know, keep in mind that while this one is going to run you at 60 Hertz for the refresh rate versus the 120 on the Surface Pro, it's an AMOLED display, you know, versus the IPS that you have on the Surface Pro. So it's a better display with higher brightness and a battery that would last much longer here than what you have on the Surface Pro. Now, the Surface Pro will support Wi-Fi 6E, whereas this one is going to support Wi-Fi 6, but the Robo Kala does have Bluetooth 5.2 versus the Surface Pro that is at Bluetooth 5.1. Playing games here has been just awesome, right? It's just as if you would be playing on a laptop. So watching movies on that beautiful AMOLED display, like I mentioned, has been great. It's been nice. Now, here's my take. If you've been following the channel for a while, then you probably know that on this channel, we focused, you know, on things that are affordable. We focus on trying to get you the best bang for your buck. And I think for something in this realm, right, in the realm of 2-in-1 laptops for people on the go, Robo Kala did a fantastic job at coming with something that is a fantastic alternative to the Surface Pro at an affordable price. And again, as I mentioned, a lot of goodies here. High level of value, you know, for what you pay for, right? Because when you compare this directly to the Surface Pro, which is a direct competitor, you can see that you're saving money and getting essentially all of the same stuff. In fact, a few things here are better on this than they are on the Surface Pro. And obviously the Surface Pro has some stuff that this does not. But still, as I always say, you have to look at it globally. It's not about going with the one that has that one thing, you know, that's better than the other one, right? It's about looking at it based off of your needs. I will have links in the description if you go ahead and, you know, for you to go ahead and check out this. Robo Kala will generally run different deals on this thing here, but I can't tell you what deals are running now because they change it up, right? So you would have to go on the website and see which ones are currently running and see if you could go ahead and grab one of these. Now, if you have any questions, of course, if you have any comments, or if you own one already, let me know in the comment section. I'm hoping that this was informative. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will catch you in that comment section like I always do. Make sure, of course, to like, share the video if you know anyone who'll be interested, or someone who is currently in the market for something like this. Make sure to subscribe also if you haven't done so already. I will catch you, like I mentioned, in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.